Hi everyone, Vicki Verley here. I was recently tagged by Michelle from Angel Souls with a series of questions, the prophetic what ifs. And it's a series of questions targeted to readers, and then I'm going to answer them, and then I'm going to tag 3 other readers. Okay, so the first one was, if you could use only one deck, which deck would it be? Well, the Hanson Roberts is my deck, that I've been using since, I'm not even sure, I think, I don't know, probably since it came out. I'm not even sure when it came out. I know I've at least been using it since the 90s, maybe even a little earlier than that. So that's the deck that I use for clients and myself. That's my main deck. I've worn out lots of them. I've got a whole drawer full of ones that are just like paper because I wear them out and I get another one. I do use other decks, including, of course, my own deck, the Beast Mistress. But for tarot, it's got to be the Hanson Roberts. Okay, second question. If you're on a date and a person asks you for a reading, what do you do? Well, that usually never happens because usually the people I end up dating are not into it at all. And prior to YouTube, I would just never mention it. I'd never mention it. But I know where she's going with this question. And I have had friends, so-called friends, in the past that were constantly hitting me up for free readings. And, I just tend to back away from those people. I just really am not wanting, to be around people like that. If they're just using you to get free readings out of you, then maybe they're not really a friend, or definitely not somebody that you'd want to date. Okay, 3. Do the cards help you when you're in a bad mood? No, I would say not. I think if I'm in a bad mood, my best things is music and then nature too. That'll cheer me up or get me centered or get me cleared out or get rid of the funky energy that might be around me. Okay, question number 4. Now this was the whole reason that I was so intrigued by this. The question is, if you could go back to age 15, would you change anything? And I just thought that question was so great. And here it was a separate thing that was going around a while ago. It was called hashtag Dear Me. I didn't know that until I started looking into this because I was just like, what a great question, My answer is too long to answer here, so I'm actually going to do a Dear Me video after this and post it as well. So you can watch the second video to hear my message to my 15-year-old self. I'm a little late to the party. I guess it was going around this spring, but hey, I'm going to do it anyways. Okay, number 5. You get a reading from someone else and they tell you you're on the wrong path. What do you think? Well, I think there's no wrong path, first of all. There's no right or wrong. It's like people, was that good or bad? Well, it's whatever. It is what it is. There's no wrong path. There's many paths you can take. I don't often get readings from other card readers anymore, but not because I'm so above it all, but I do just look at nature. I trust my inner stuff. I like to hang out with other psychic people, and we might get stuff, on each other, but it's not like whip out the cards and do me a reading, it's not like that. But if I do, and I have occasionally, I'll go to a fair or something and I'll get a reading. I try to just take really, really good notes, because I know that there may be a message in there, and I find this with clients sometimes, not so much anymore, but in the past, like, maybe there's a great message that is there, but I'm so focused on one particular thing that I'm missing all of it. So I always, if I ever get a reading from anybody, an official reading, I try to take really, really good notes, and then it's funny, you can go back to it later, and often there was a message there for you that had nothing, you might be so intent on your questions and what you want to know that, you missed the good message. So I just take really good notes. I assume that there's some kind of message there. I don't let stuff like that bother me, basically, If somebody says I'm on the wrong path, that doesn't bother me. Okay. Number 6, your friends make plans without you. They're concerned that you'll know because you're psychic. What's your reaction? That stuff doesn't bother me at all either. You don't need to be psychic with Facebook. Everybody's on Facebook and everybody knows what everybody's doing and all this stuff. That kind of stuff, sometimes certain friends don't mix with other kind of friends. It's no biggie, Like when I was running the bar, the night that we had the country band playing, or the roots music band playing, the metal guys, if I had a metal band, I mean, those two things are completely different groups of people, and they might not get along. They probably, not that they wouldn't get along, like there'd be a fight or anything, but it's just, it's different, everybody's different, and sometimes, there's certain, like, I compare it to music, even now, I'll go out and see some of my metal friends play, and that's one group of people, and I'll go here to a blues jam, and that's another group of people, so it's just like that, and I don't let that kind of stuff bother me anyway. Okay, number 7. I didn't really understand this one. I'm going to have to skip it. It's something to do with you getting robbed or something, and I don't even want to go in that energy. So, but if you want to know, you can go back and watch the other video, Michelle's video, to try to understand. I didn't really get it, and that's one I just had to skip, okay? Number 8. You lend your cards to someone and they return them all messed up. What do you do? Well, I would agree with Michelle's. You just don't lend your cards out. I mean, when you get a deck of cards, you get your tarot deck, you season them, you put your energy and your imprint on them. And like I said earlier, I have a drawer full of old decks of mine. I don't know what to do with them. I think you're supposed to burn them or bury them or something. So, no, you never lend your deck out. Maybe if somebody wants your deck and you feel like you're going to do that, just, like I said, give it to them. There's one exception of me, and I don't use anybody else's deck except, I have it here, my grandmother's deck. This is her cloth. My grandmother passed in the 90s. I should have known the year, but I'm not sure. Sometime in the mid to late 90s. And I got her rune stones, and I got her deck. And I have your rune stones too, my own. I used to use the runes, but I really don't use them that much anymore. I'm pretty much just on the cards. These are my grandma's Rider-Waite deck, and I don't use them all the time. I'm not constantly handling them and stuff. I only pull these out if I'm really in a state where it's just like I feel like I really can't find the answer. And to me, this deck is special because it belonged to my grandmother, of course, but because it's as if when I throw these cards, as if I'm talking to her or she's guiding me or giving me advice or something. So this is the only exception to the rule. Never lend your cards out. You don't want anybody else's energy on it anymore, okay? Okay, so now I have to tag 3 readers. This was really, really hard because there's so many good readers and spiritual teachers on YouTube these days. But I figured, well, since it's a lot about tarot cards, I'll narrow it down to just tarot readers. And even then it was really hard because there's so many good ones. But I finally did. I picked 3. And I'm going to start with, I'm going to tag Pamela Georgel, the Lucky Mermaid. And then I'm going to tag Audrey Alison. And then the third one I'm going to tag is Crystal Wynd of Soul Span Creations. Okay, I hope to hear from you ladies soon. I enjoyed doing this. It was really fun. Stay tuned for the next video.